See, that was Sarah's whole thing. If you look at the show, go back and look at Ism Radio. Y'all notice that Sarah was always trying to get me to go places with her. Sarah was always, the biggest complaint she had was all, TARIQ, you don't be hanging out with me. TARIQ, you don't want to go nowhere with me. TARIQ, we need to go out of town. I mean, she would say this on and off the air. She would want to go out of town. Hey, TARIQ, we need to go out of town. We need to go out. We need to go to the club. Can we come to your house? So Sarah's whole thing was always trying to get me somewhere with her alone. That was her thing. She was always trying to get me to go somewhere with her so we can be alone. She would always, because her and I were never alone. There was always somebody around because I had no reason to be alone with her. This is business. And she would come to the office early sometimes or whatever and then try to stay late, but she would always try to be somewhere alone with me. And again, I've always said that I don't trust her because what she was doing seems like at that point, because, you know, she would tape conversations and all that old shit because her thing was trying to get me to say something that she could tape and then try to flip. That's what she was doing in the car. When we did the skit, I got in my car. I was in the car by myself. So she ran over and jumped in my car because that was her only opportunity to be alone with me. That was the only time we've ever been alone. She ran and got in my car. And I'm like, why the fuck are you getting in my car? Just drive your car. No, I want to ride with you. So she immediately got in my car and then started talking about sexual stuff. And that's what the whole pimping shit was. The pimping conversation was a ruse to lead into sexual talk. That's what that was about. She was clearly taping. And when she got in the car with me, she was clearly taping the conversation. She got in the car and immediately started talking about pimping, hoeing, and she was trying to get me to say something remotely sexual so she could possibly use that to say, oh, this is a sexual harassment. I can file a sexual harassment suit or something. She was trying to go into a sexual conversation. That's why I kept cutting the conversations off. I'm like, what the fuck you doing? You dig? That was clearly a setup. She was in that car taping. She was in that car taping the conversation. That's why when I asked, why are you asking me these questions, she started fumbling and bumbling and stuttering and I'm just asking. I don't know. I'm just asking. I mean, why are you getting defensive? What? I'm not defensive. You're asking me some real strange questions about hoes and what are you talking about? I don't know, TARIQ. I don't know. So she was up here recording the conversations, trying to coerce me into saying something sexual so she can try to run and file some frivolous sexual harassment lawsuit or something. You dig?